Everyone, this is Chris, and I have Julie. She's a very good friend of mine. I've known her for so long. I was one of her clients, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna bring it up.
Okay.
And this is the part where we're just gonna break it in. We're just gonna go in for it.
Okay.
Okay, I would say I will say how I met you or how I
Okay.
know of you.
Okay.
I have a very good friend who passed away. She's my best friend, and she passed away. Before she passed away, she was having some issues, and I was running into some issues. And I do you recall why I came to you or no?
I don't recall.
I'll tell you right now.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good one.
Okay.
Okay, so I was having an issue with a boyfriend
Okay.
who was abusive,
I'm sorry.
and Maria said, and I'm saying her name, Maria. Maria said, "Go to this lady. She's right here.
Uh-huh.
Knock on her door. Get help." And I think at the time you had like someone at the storefront,
Right.
and I put my name down. I said, "Please, I need her to call me." You called me
Uh-huh.
in the first reading, and you do tarot cards. Yes, it's
No, I do Spanish playing cards.
Spanish playing cards.
Yes, called
Okay,
naipes.
thank you. Okay,
You're
that's what we need
welcome.
to correct.
Yes.
And you told me, and it was the funniest thing because I've never met you. You've never met me. We had no clue who we were.
Right.
And you said You said this tall man that's with you. He's abusing you financially and emotionally and physically. And I remember I was like very sick. I was on dialysis. I had a pork cat inside of me,
Well,
and he was beating me up. And you said, but by the 11th of January, you gave me a specific date. That's the
uh-huh.
weirdest thing. And we'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
By the 11th of January, you said, he's going to be out of your life.
Okay.
By the 9th of January, he was out of my life.
Okay.
And I was like, you can't go any further. Then I came back
Okay.
and you gave me a reading.
You had a fix.
No,
You're
I
like,
did, I
I'm
did,
coming
I
back.
did. You gave me another reading, and I came
Okay.
back to because I wanted to know what was going to happen. Because you always say, and again, we're going to come up to how you know how you have your gift and your art. I call it a gift
Okay.
or your skill. We can call it a skill.
Okay.
How your skill, how you mostly do things. And you don't like to go too far. You give you like the next 6 months and stuff. And you'll correct me in a minute.
Yes.
And then you were telling me you were saying, this is what's going to happen. But the funniest thing is when you were giving me the reading,
Hmm.
my mom came out of nowhere
I know. It
and she
happens.
was yelling at me. And you said this woman with red hair who's always angry and has green eyes, she's just yelling at me. She's yelling at me. And then you said my dad came in
Hmm.
too, and you were saying your dad. He's saying that I remember these words. You said your dad's saying that you're doing more math than he could ever understand.
Oh,
And I was like, damn, because my dad only had
that is
a
amazing.
second grade education,
Yes.
second grade
Yes.
education, but he was like a carpenter and all that.
Right.
And then my mom she had a higher education, but she was always in the wrong. She was always angry.
Okay.
And then I think, and producer Mike can vouch for this, the last recording I made, which is all our episodes are going to be off sync. They're not going to be in chronological order.
Mhm.
The last episode we were glitching because I was talking about my mom and everything. So here we go. So Julie, are you a psychic medium or what do you call yourself?
I am not. I wish I were a medium because if I'll explain, mediums have the ability where they can communicate and talk to and have all sorts of amazing interactions with persons that have passed. I do not have that blessing. I consider myself a spiritual guide. And I know this sounds I'm going to try to say it the way I look at myself. I'm like a little radio. And they just come through when they mean spirit guides, yours, mine, etc. And without my control, sometimes your ancestors will come through, which is really amazing. I wish I could control it. I can't. There are people that, I get asked all the time. Believe me, I would. But I just consider myself a guide. I deliver messages for you is my best description.
Okay, so if by any chance, I feel like the microphone was going away. So if by any chance, and that's okay, I talk like this, I always move around the microphone. If for any reason something comes in, just tell me, just stop me, and just go for it, okay?
Okay.
And if you want,
Well, I did feel a lot of heartache when you mentioned your father. And let me explain something. Believe it or not, I am a very skeptical spiritual person. I
okay,
question my spirit guides all the time. I will contradict myself all the time because I feel like this is a tool and I feel like I need to use all of my tools, my life experiences, my intellect, my education, my background. I don't like to rely on just one thing. So I'm constantly questioning. So it's amazing that you shared with me in the beginning because I don't remember any of this
you don't?
because most of the time I'm just being used as a messenger for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Hmm.
But I always felt with you that your mother was more of an energy, like a strong influence.
She is.
But
She
when you
was.
started mentioning your father, I feel like he's just like the soft underbelly of you, like the soft,
Yes.
the nurturing side of you.
Yes. Because so my mom was, and I'm very open about this. My mom was very not the usual mom that you would have.
Okay.
She was always angry, always either trying to come up with the next dollar, and she wasn't nurturing at all.
Okay.
And I there's a lot I can deep dive into that for like two podcasts seriously because she
Right.
was. I don't know if she suffered from postpartum depression or bipolarness. I know that she didn't want me around. She's always said that she never wanted to have me. Whereas my father, who
Well, I want you around.
oh no, thank you. No, no, no. I'm like, well, mom's dead. 0. Eric 1. I won.
Oh,
So
Eric.
yeah, I said my name. I know it's okay. It's okay. But I always go by Chris. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And then my dad was very nurturing. My dad, even though they said that wasn't his and stuff like that, it was crazy. It's a crazy story. Well, like I said, I'll deep dive into that one for like 5 episodes. My dad was always loving me. He always loved me, no matter what.
He's,
And I
he's
think
around you.
is he really?
he's
'Cause
around you.
I always feel like he's not. I always
He
get
is.
scared. So again,
But you're afraid to open up because of your life experiences. We all are.
fuck yeah.
We all are. But we all are.
Damn,
Listen,
yeah, that's good.
I'm afraid to open up. I was nervous about doing this for the first time. And it's very human. And it's so funny because I wrote that down. They said to, okay, remember, I'm a little crazy. I get messages from spirit
Go
guides.
for it.
They just said to me when I was sort of trying to place my brain into what I'm a visual. So I just thought I need a chronological outline or an idea of what I need to share with him. And they just said to me on my way over here to tell you, we're just human. Like, bring down the expectation, the pressure. You're just human.
Of me or of the
of-
spiritual guides?
You.
Or-
You
Okay.
personally. Like, just let it go. You're human. Don't be so crazy hard. You have this crazy, like, I need to be this and I need to do that and I need to prove this. I need to help so and so. And that speaks very highly of your heart. But I just feel like just let it go. You're human.
Wow. I'm looking at you. You know why I'm looking at you?
Why are you looking at me?
Because I'm breaking right now.
Oh my
I literally.
goodness, I'm
No, no, no,
sorry.
no, 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 no. It's okay. No, no, no. That's what the podcast is. We're here to
Okay,
talk.
cool.
We're just here to talk.
Okay.
No, seriously. The past 2 weeks have been really rough on me
Okay.
with work
Uh-huh.
and private life.
Okay.
And somebody told me the other day, they're like, "You're always laughing," and I'm like, "Bitch, I'm falling apart." But I'm just, I feel like I'm psychotic. No, real. I feel like I'm insane because I'm
Maybe
like,
it's an Aquarius thing.
I think it is because I'm like, I feel like my life is falling apart personally, and I'm
Uh-huh.
just like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, and some just,
Look.
but I feel like we all, maybe it's just me, but or you tell me this because
Okay.
you know, like you say, you're into that universe. I just feel we all go through the same thing. I feel like this is what it's the standard for everyone, no matter who you are, Aquarius, Capricorn, Virgo, Leo,
Mhm.
or just human being.
Mhm.
That or a sane human being is someone that knows that shit's falling apart, but still shows up and smiles and keeps pushing forward.
And
That's yeah.
what is your question again?
My question. That was my. Oh, what was the question I asked?
Listen, two crazy Aquarius.
I
are
know
trying to
the
stay
thing
on
is
track.
no. The thing is, I started going on a rant. Yeah, no. Okay, so this is my question.
Okay.
How did you pick up the gift?
I was born into this, plain and simply. I was thinking about this when I was getting ready to drive
Okay.
over here. Well, my son drove me over here. My mother did this. My grandmother did this. This is all I've known. I grew up in this. I literally grew up in a yerberia. And, you know, that's a spiritual shop.
Mhm.
Candles, herbs for people that don't know, religious items, witchcraft, you could say. And that's what I saw. That was my normal. I thought about this earlier. I thought most people, and I've shared this with a couple of clients, I would imagine that most little girls remember their mother baking or sewing or, you know, doing motherly things. I remember, and I don't know if this is good or bad, but I remember my mother holding an egg and scribbling stuff on the egg and putting it in a jar. And I remember my mother, you know, lighting a candle and writing stuff down. And I would ask I was always nosy, as I am now, little kindergartner, and asking, Mom, what are you doing? And she would tell me in Spanish, este viejo se porta muy mal. You know, this man doesn't treat his woman right. We need to get him
I
in
love
check.
this. Okay.
So that's my norm. So,
So-
I've done this forever.
I have another question. So, you know, because, like, for example, we were talking before we started recording
Yes.
about religion.
Mhm.
Now, if someone's not, I know with you, when I visited you, when you practice a lot of Catholicism,
Right.
you say pray, but someone that is not Catholic,
Yes.
then what can, because I think with Catholic, they pray with saints.
Mm-hmm.
And then with other religions, because I don't know what I consider myself, non-dominational, I think I am.
Okay.
I was baptized in a Baptist church.
Okay.
But I actually come from Jewish roots.
Wow.
But we were never religious. None of
Okay.
us never religious.
Okay.
How can you apply your practice
Mhm.
to other religions, or is this because what I'm saying is, you know,
Like, what's the guide?
yeah, the guidance, yeah,
Well,
correct.
I'll explain. This is whenever I'm thinking about when I do a spiritual cleansing on someone, and I have the blessing that I encounter all types of backgrounds and all beliefs and all that. You know, some people don't have any faith at all, or they
Yes.
believe in the universe, or they just tell me openly, I don't believe in anyone or anything. So I try to open up to the person, and I mention if you had an extreme situation, God forbid, life-threatening situation, who would you invoke, or who would you pray to, or who would you run to, or what does your heart tell you?
Got it.
And that's my suggestion. And keep it simple. I know religious is a touchy subject, and I am completely aware. And God, I'm going to be on my soapbox, but I know this is shunned upon. I know that there's so many people that are taking advantage of this, and there's so many people, con artists, that do what I do. I'm I'm not responsible for what other people do, but I understand the stigma behind card readings and intuitions and spiritual cleansings. But I have to stay in my belief and my faith. And I always encourage people whenever they, are looking for some sort of guidance. I want you to base it first on what your heart tells you, and then use this as a tool that may or may not help you. But I'm completely against 100% being into one thing, if that makes any sense.
Yes, yes.
So I don't know if I love religion, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I respect it, and I believe in saints. I believe in God. I believe in the universe. I believe in good and bad. I believe that they're negative spirits. So I don't know if I believe humans' influence on religion and keeping it
Okay.
within certain boundaries. That's the part I'm
No,
uncomfortable.
and I'll bring this up. One time when I went from Judaism and I was baptized for in a Baptist church, the youth leader told me one time, and I think they were switching to another church. And ever since they told me this was like back in 2000,
Mhm.
and I've been holding on to this belief ever since they said this to me. And I don't know, maybe that's why they were leaving the church,
Mhm.
but they always said, and this is like my big. I was like, this is bigger than anything. He was like, religion is man-made, God is spiritual.
Yeah.
He's
That's
like, so
amazing.
even if you can't find the right
Say that again,
church,
please.
religion is man-made, God is
Isn't
spiritual.
that amazing?
No, and I'm saying that because he said no matter where you go, because religion is always going to be practiced in a church, right? And
right.
no matter what church, if you don't feel the right fit, you can find the right church to go to. So he's like, but at the end of the day, who do you talk to? God.
Mhm.
And that's why I was like bringing that up, because I know that we have some believers, some non-believers. Like
Right.
I was a non-believer.
Yes.
When I showed up to you, I was a non-believer.
Okay.
But then when my mom showed up, I was like, shit, like, oh no, like this is real.
Yeah.
But that's why I've always asked you about readings, about like medium readings, about talking to people that passed.
Mhm.
It's only because I wanted to know, like, my best friend who passed away.
Right.
Like I want to reach out and I want to see what's going on with her. But I know that you've told me you're not a medium. You
I
wish you could be
I
a medium.
were.
And I signed up for Teresa Caputo. If she's ever listening to this podcast, I'll hashtag her on here.
Wow.
Yeah, no. See,
I love her.
So
I think
she
she's so
reaches out.
cool.
Really,
Yes.
I listened to one and I saw one of her episodes and I really liked it. And that was because I was trying to get the feel of what this is going to be about. So let me ask you as what you do,
Okay.
psychic.
As your friend.
Okay,
As your
okay,
crazy,
okay.
intuitive,
As my
psychic friend. Yes.
How do you prepare yourself at the beginning before you go walk in for all these readings? How do you prepare yourself? Because it's got to be like, it takes a toll on you emotionally
Remember,
and
I was
mentally.
born into this. This is
So
my
it just
norm.
came naturally, yeah.
I-
Like somebody that's been doing TV for years. I'm
I'll
like, oh,
share
okay.
this. I don't, and this is boring to me, but a lot of clients just seem so intrigued by this story. I don't know why. I would translate for my mother, for the English speaking people that
Oh,
would come
okay.
in for her.
Okay, okay.
For readings.
Okay.
So they on you, come after school hours, whatever. I had my little bench in the office, that kind of game.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
one of my first clients, love her, teacher, still my client. She's my first client ever. So sweet. Love her to death. Would translate for my mama, who's no longer with us. And she's still my client. I love her. But anyway, I would translate for them. And I was probably maybe elementary, 8 or 9 maybe. And my mother would tell me in Spanish, tell her blah, blah, blah. So I remember one time my mother said, tell her XYZ. And I looked at my mother and I said, well, I remember the situation, if you're okay with me sharing.
Share
It was about her boyfriend at the time who's married. So she said, tell her something along the line like, he's going to pull away from her, or he's not going to marry her, et cetera. And I looked at my mother and I said, Mom, it's because the wife is doing black candles to get rid of her. And my mother looked at me. Listen, now in retrospect as an adult, I thought, tells you about what kind of mom I had.
Okay.
She looked at me like it's about time. Like it took you long enough.
Yeah, like
kind
you
of
finally
vibe.
figured out. You
Yeah.
got the thing. Yeah. Okay.
So the next time after, so I told her, making it seem as if it was my mother's conversation. My mother said this insight and I shared my insight, but I made it seem like it was my mother's. Next time she comes in, remember, I'm an elementary kid who's just translating. My direct mother, Gemini, love her to death, but they're a lot.
Yes,
Gemini's
they
out
are.
there,
They
love
are.
y'all,
They
but
are.
you guys are a lot. Next time the lady came in for a reading, my mother said, go do her reading. Never taught me how to do a reading, not even once. And I said, what do you mean? She said, go do a reading. I said, Mom, I have no idea what I'm doing. What do you mean do a reading? I'm the translator. She said, do the reading. If she doesn't like it, after I'm done eating, I'll come out and do it again.
I'm dead. Okay.
So I go in there, I do her reading. To this day, when I do your reading, if you notice, I won't look at you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's.
lost. I'm just looking down.
Mhm.
And so I'm doing her reading, never look up. I literally am expecting this lady to be like, okay, brat, this is annoying. Give me back my time.
Yeah.
Crying. She's crying. After that session, that's when it woke up. And that's when I started getting insight.
So coming back, we're gonna loop back to the positivity here
Okay.
because it's a month of love.
Yes.
What do you recommend people can do as small things, daily things that they can do to attract love? Because maybe someone's, probably been out of a bad, got out of a bad relationship at once time alone. Now they're realizing, okay, I really want someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, and I know that the month of February always brings people like, it can
Mixed
depress
feelings.
them. Yeah, mixed
Yeah.
feelings. Yeah, especially in the holidays too. But around month of love, they're like, oh, well, what can they do? What do you recommend? I mean, what is it that you can advise?
Okay. So I think in general for February, we have, it's supposed to be perfect and hallmark, and we're supposed to look a certain way, and we're, have this type of relationship. Just let go, first of all, of that unrealistic expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Work on with what you have. Be happy. Be happy with yourself. Be happy with what blessings you have. If you're single and you have health, be grateful that you have that. Now, am I suggesting that you settle and die alone? Absolutely not. We all need a little bit of,
Yeah.
a little love and hotness. So what
Mhm.
would be my suggestions with love? My number one suggestion, and this sounds very simple, and this may be disappointing to you,
Okay.
but I would say start from gratitude. Start from being just positive and expecting good things and love.
It's not disappointing.
Okay, good.
Because I know I've always been told a long time ago, I was told there's a Spanish word called pegue.
Mhm.
Like always got to be positive and you always get pegue. Like and pegue means like people are attracted to you, like people
Right.
get stuck to you. I'm just translating here. And so, yeah, I've always believed in positivity.
Right.
But what else? Like, do they could wear like trinkets, oils?
Like practical things?
Yeah, practical things.
Okay,
Yes.
so practice. So first, our mental outlook, the way we're looking at things. Another suggestion I would give someone: were we thinking someone single or someone that just wants to meet someone? What are we thinking?
I think so. I'm talking like in broad, in general, like someone that's single or someone that's looking or someone that just got out of a bad relationship
Just
or
wants to be happy.
yeah, just wants
Okay.
to be happy. Yes.
So I would definitely start with yourself. And as far as practical practices, Fridays I love for love. Fridays are ruled by Venus. It's just lines up to take advantage of love. So please don't. I do this all the time. I make things so complicated. Well, I'm gonna do it on this Friday at noon, and I'm gonna buy these 3
That's
candles.
me.
Please don't, because do we end up not doing it?
Yes.
See, so just keep it simple. Start simply. Let it snowball to blessings. But I would say think of anything that has to do with love. Aromas. I love flowers, vanilla, wearing creams and lotions, or even cleaning products that have those scents are to draw love. Mindfully using them with the intention to attract love. Red candles. People tell me all the time, well, I can't light spiritual candles. My husband doesn't like it, or, I don't want people to think that I'm doing witchcraft. Buy a scented candle. It could be any kind of candle as long as it's brand new.
So, how do you explain to people that this isn't witchcraft? Because I bet, do you get asked that a lot?
All the
Like,
time.
Okay. So, do you do spells?
Yes.
You do, but are
Yes.
you witchcraft?
Some of it is witchcraft.
Okay, so you can delve into that.
Yes, I can delve into that. I'm blessed enough to not have to do a lot
Got it.
of rituals and spells, and I sort of pick and choose what I feel comfortable doing because I strongly believe in karma. Karma for you and karma for me.
Yeah.
And
That's big, yeah.
so I'm really cautious of that, but I'm open-minded. I'm not, this is how I look at it. Like I said, I feel like that I have a sense of responsibility with the type of work that I do. If I have someone come in and they're doing negative rituals for whatever reason, let's say they're doing something to get rid of the boyfriend's ex-woman or the whatever situation, it could be a very valid reason.
I feel like that's stupid. Like when someone's like, I want him, but he's married, get rid of him. I'm like, really? You're worried about that? Like, really, you're fucking worried about shit like that? Like,
You'd
there's
be
somebody else.
surprised. Hey.
But no, but the saddest thing is there's probably somebody else out there, probably better and single.
But Eric, loneliness is real. Being in love and having that strong connection is real, and sometimes you can't control it.
Because you can be with somebody and be lonely. That's true.
True.
So
So if I have someone that's already practicing negative rituals
mhm.
and they come into the shop and they just want something really negative, I try to encourage them to not. Because I feel like, I'm mama bear. I have to annoy you. I have to a little bit.
Hmm.
I need to open your light a little bit. But if you as an adult choose to do so, I will probably be that type of person to tell you, look, I suggest you don't do it. But if you're going to do it, take these precautions so it doesn't backfire on you.
So I gotta ask you. So
Mhm,
right now that we're in here and it's only a selected few
mhm,
in here,
mhm.
I feel like there's a group of people that don't like me.
Okay.
What are you picking up? I feel like I'm a little. I feel like they want to do something like
Like,
yeah.
do you feel like someone's blocking you? Is that what you're
Not
asking me?
blocking. I feel like they're trying to suck my energy.
No, I feel like you've passed that.
I'm
The
sorry.
attacks, the negative attacks, I think you're past that. That's
Like
in the
it's worse.
past. It's in the past. You've gone
Okay.
through that experience. You're
Yes.
still sensing the remnants of it. And they're telling me water, go near water. So I would definitely recommend maybe baths for you. And love baths are amazing.
Okay.
Um,
Real quick, because
mhm,
and the thing, is, I'm not trying to cut you off. It's
mhm, mhm.
because I'm looking at the timer. We're on a time
Yes,
here.
yes.
Do you want to do a small reading for me?
I would love to if you want me to.
Do you feel okay? Let me just ask you this. And it's the way your brain works, and I know how it works. Not like that. I know you as a friend.
Mhm.
I know. So, are you capable of doing a reading for me? Are you picking up something from me, or is there somebody else in the room that you're picking up from?
I honestly feel like this has a bigger purpose for others. But it's your show. Whatever you want to do, I'm here for you. Okay.
Because now we only got 24 minutes. So I don't think we have time for a reading. So let's. The good question was if you can channel love.
Practical uses for love.
Are we recording now?
So
Okay.
so anything and everything that you would think of that's flour, cinnamon, vanilla, and choose what you're drawn to.
Mm.
Like I said, lotions, soaps, cleaning products with the intention to attract love. Friday's the best day for love. The area of your home, of your bedroom, represents your love energy. So I would strongly encourage all of us out there to clean our bedroom, to have it presentable, to have lots of natural light coming in, even if a few minutes a day. Doesn't have to be all the time, doesn't have to be perfect, but structure your space because
Okay.
that's where your love and your luck with love is going to start off. I
Can,
also suggest. I'm sorry to cut you
no,
off.
no, it's okay.
I,
Go, go. No,
it's,
keep going
I
because you're
won't
going.
stop.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no, no. Keep going.
When you're going out to meet someone, mindfully when you're getting ready and you're changing and you're dressing, invoke it. I'm opening myself up to this. I want a good person in my life. I want to have and be very specific what you're invoking. I want someone that is single, someone who is interested in me. I want to find that one person. Don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself, but
Okay.
invoke that. Like open up, just like you would for an interview. When you go to an interview for a job, would you go in there thinking they're not going to like me? I'm probably not smart enough. They're
I
probably
do.
no,
Oh,
because you're coming
okay.
from a place of negativity.
Okay.
So we do not want to set ourselves up to be for it to be harder than it already is.
Correct.
Make sense?
Hmm.
This is a little bit annoying when it comes to love. And keep in mind, this is my perspective when I do a reading or when I talk about a relationship. With love, it's two different persons and two different beliefs and thoughts and two different energies, if you will. So it's almost like a little magical concoction that occurs. So it's tricky. It's not something that we can just control and change, but we can absolutely set ourselves up to be successful and happy with love.
What advice would you give spiritually for
Mhm.
someone that's just going through a rough patch in love?
Understand where it's coming from.
Hmm.
And I'll share this with you. I think that recognizing our past experiences and our heartache and our blessings, recognizing how it's affecting us now and why it makes us think a certain way is a really valuable tool. But we as humans are always nervous about that. If I focus on it, it's going to come back. It's going to, like when you shared a really terrible situation you lived through when I met you. That's a hurtful experience for you. Through
Hmm.
logic, it's smarter to walk away from that, not focus on that. But that makes you. And
Hmm.
that's something that you probably will never put up again. And you're probably being blessed in other ways of your life because you went through something that was just not fair. And does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I think if you're going through a really rough patch and you just feel like nothing is working out, I'm going to be a little bit annoying. Maybe this is not the right person for you. Maybe it's time to look elsewhere. Maybe this is a time to take a break. Maybe it's a time to look around, or maybe just give the relationship a little bit of healing. And if it's meant to be, let me be annoying. It's going to come back.
So there was a good question we had earlier. It was, and do you remember that question about
Mm.
the can you channel love,
Yes.
a medium wise?
So through a card reading, I absolutely can invoke focus on love. I do my readings in spreads. So I can read you or someone else, or we can read a relationship, or we can read your future, someone else's future. I need a little bit of direction because can you imagine if I just, don't, for me personally, as a reader, it's easier for me to give me a little direction. And then I sort of focus on that.
Mhm.
So if you, for instance, if someone comes in and just wants to know, how am I going to do with love? But I'm not involved with anyone specific. Then I can do a reading for the person and give them a general guide of what, little things that you can expect the next few months, what you can try to change or improve, or sit there and expect, things are going to fall into place for you.
Have you ever had somebody ever ask you in a reading, like, am I ever going to find love? And I know you just said something
Yes.
similar, close to it,
Yes.
but can you sense it? Can you tell them, hey, it's coming in about 2 months? Or can you tell them or describe them? Or can I ask you that? Like,
That's it.
if you're doing the reading and you're like, oh, is it a he? And then what if you get surprised it's a she? And you're like, wait, where did this come from? And I'm just saying that just to be dumb. Not dumb, but just to be just vague,
Right.
but have you ever seen somebody just come in and you're like, this person's coming in, they're coming and they're gonna fall in love with you? Because I think that's what, and that's another question. Do people come for readings asking you,
Yes.
am I gonna find love? Is
I
it
get
mostly, what's
asked
the most for all
for
the love
love.
readings?
I hear, is he my twin flame? Is he is this person my person that I'm supposed to be with? And like I said, I'm a little skeptical. And this is a tool that I use. I do not rely just on my spiritual faith and what I
Mhm.
do. So I pry a little bit. Well, what kind of relationship do you have? Or, what's the situation? Well, we haven't seen each other in 6 months, but I really, really love him. I feel like he's my twin flame. So I feel like this other woman is doing work. I'm like, sweetie, if you haven't seen him in 6 months, we need a date. We need other people. We need options.
You're like, we need to just move on. Like,
And
okay.
listen, I feel like I'm being kind or, I feel like I'm being a little cautious, but I get told all the time, be careful because she's going to tell you how it is. I want you, and I hope that this comes across, and this is sort of a question for you, and I will know if you're lying to me, Eric.
Okay.
My intention when I do a reading for you is completely and sincerely to help you.
Yes.
Like I want it to serve a purpose for you.
So I'm glad you're bringing that up because when I recommend to when I
Mhm.
refer people to,
Mhm.
I tell them like, she's gonna tell you the good and the bad.
Okay.
Don't sit there and expect the best.
Okay.
I'm like, she's not gonna sugarcoat. She's gonna be like, hey, this is how it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
This is about to happen. Get ready for this. And you've always said it. I'm a guide. I'm not your advisor. I'm not this and that. So again, it's the month of love.
Mhm.
What do you see? What do you feel? What do you recommend right now?
Okay, so I have to start off with the year of the snake. For us in general, this is a general intuitive message that I have for all of us. This is a tough year for us. So if we think of a snake, we do not think of a snake being a warm, fuzzy animal.
Yes.
It's, it can, if you leave it alone, let it do its thing, it's cool. If you mess with it, it's going to attack. So this is a touchy year for us. It's a lot of difficulty and a lot of general struggle.
Okay. When you mean us, do you mean like
All of
Aquarius or
us.
all of
All
us?
of us.
Humankind.
Yes.
Human race. Okay.
Yes. So I feel like this year is just a complicated year for us in general. So having said that, we need to set ourselves up for success because we're already starting off with a little bit of heaviness on us. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
Oh,
that's why we need to be optimistic and take advantage of these opportunities, like sitting here in front of you, pushing myself out of my comfort zone. Practice what you
yes.
preach, right?
Yeah.
Just set yourself up for success. I encourage people specifically this year, take that online class, finish something you didn't finish before, get hold of your finances, sit whatever area in your life you feel you've been neglecting or you feel is a little bit unstable. This is really the year to not just coast and just wait for things to fall into place because it is a little tougher year for us.
What about for anybody that's the fear of getting out of the comfort zone?
That's a personal battle that
That's
you
a
have.
personal battle.
Yes.
Okay.
And I strongly believe that sometimes because there are negative spirits around us, I always tell people negativity likes negativity. So if you are very insecure, if you are very unhappy with love,
Oh, insecure.
if you've had all of these really terrible love experiences and you just kind of don't really believe you'll ever be happy, do the exact opposite. And there's no perfect response to that. That's why I say start with yourself. Visualize exactly what you want. Pray. Pray to God or pray to whoever you have faith in. Pray to your ancestors. Pray to any positive energies that are hearing you or that are near you. If you believe you have a spirit or you have a soul, pray to any positive spirits that are near you and be specific.
What about trinkets? What do you recommend?
I love the hummingbird.
Really?
I love that. May be my old school mama coming in. La chuparrosa. I love the hummingbird.
Is that what they're called in Spanish?
Chuparrosa. They
I didn't
also
know.
call it something else. I'll think of it in a minute. But I love the hummingbird. And let me explain why.
Why?
Hummingbird is for good luck with love. It's like a little tool that you can carry, and it's a little magnet for love. But it also attracts wealth and abundance. So it's like killing two birds
Oh
with one
wow, I didn't
stone.
know that.
Yes, hummingbird. I love the hummingbird. I would suggest rose quartz. I love rose quartz because it absorbs our negativity. I suggest we change them out every couple of months. It's a good idea. I like a crucifix because I feel like a crucifix to me symbolizes protection from anything negative. Let's see, what are Santísima Muerte? I know that's a touchy subject. I know
I know.
people.
So let me ask you that.
Mhm.
Oh no, but I don't want to talk about that because we're trying to focus on love.
Well,
We'll talk about that.
Santísima Muerte is used for love as well, mister.
Yes. No, they don't. No, I've never used it for
Hey.
love. I used it for something else. But no,
Really?
yeah, you actually helped me with that.
Okay.
And it did work. It did
Okay,
work. It
good.
was real short. We had like 10 seconds. I'll talk about it. I have a tumor in my liver, and we did some work, and turned out it was just nothing.
Santísima Muerte, in my opinion, this is my personal experience. I'm not God. I respect everyone else's perspective, and there's so many people that are blessed and do what I do. Santísima Muerte is a spirit that can be used for good, for bad, for health, for love, all sorts of
Okay.
petitions. So you invoked her for health. That's what you chose to do. But love, she's amazing for
Really?
love.
Because you told me she was really happy because I took her some red flowers. I think it was like red roses at the time. And they were the longest. They
Lasted
lasted
a
3
long
weeks.
time,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I remember you were telling me that she was so
Yeah,
happy with
yeah.
that.
She's,
Okay.
she's like my suggestion whenever I hear people tell me, I want to pray to the Santísima Muerte, the Holy Death, but I don't know where to get started. My suggestion is, what is your goal? Are you trying to harm someone, or do you just want to bring success for you? She has a negative connotation because people believe that she'll punish you or that she'll take something away. And my response to that is, don't overpromise. If you're choosing as an adult, please clarify as an adult. If you're choosing to pray and honor her and request something, only promise what you know good and well that you're going to, hold up to. Don't overpromise. But she's amazing for love.
This is really good, and I'm just gonna tell you right now. And I feel like we're scripted. We're not scripted. We're just really going with the flow, aren't we, producer Mike? No, this is really good. I want to bring you back because there's so much more I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
But we're gonna keep focusing on love because
Okay.
it's the month of love.
Yes.
And I've said that like 6
Can I
different times.
share a very simple bath
Yes.
for love
Please,
that is
please, please.
amazingly powerful? Super
Please.
easy. Get a huge pot. Fill it halfway with water. Stick 3 roses, red roses, petals only. Chop up an apple, preferably red. If you have green, use green, no excuses. Throw in a stick of cinnamon. If you don't have a stick of cinnamon, throw in some powdered cinnamon. Put in a tablespoon or 2 of sugar, preferably brown sugar. If you don't have it, use what you got.
Okay.
Cover that up, boil it. Am I missing anything? Honey. Add a little bit of honey. You don't have honey, add maple syrup. Do you see how I purposely tell you different options? Because I don't want to hear excuses. Just do it. Cover that up, let it boil, uncover it, open all the doors of your home, turn on all the fans, allow the aroma to sort of seep a little bit in your space because now you're cleansing your home. Turn it off, keep it covered, allow it to cool down. Hopefully you have a tub. Stick it in the tub, only the water. Put the tub in the water, add regular tap water to cool it down, soak in that water from your neck down, and just pray and manifest what you're drawing for love. That is an amazing cleansing when you want to meet someone, when you're going for a job interview, or you just feel like there's so much mess on me, I feel like I need a little bit of a push.
So it's love on you.
Yes.
Basically, okay.
It's a general love success bath.
Okay.
So simple to do, cleanses your home, cleanses you. If you, for whatever reason, want to do that bath and you find that you can't do it, I couldn't do it, I don't have the privacy, I couldn't do it because I got busy, I didn't have all the items, sometimes you're blocked. If that's the case, what do I suggest? Pray. Pray first. If you find that prayer is not enough, remember whatever you're devout to open your path, then maybe you need to do a different type of cleansing. But that's a really easy, amazing cleansing to do.
Wow.
Yeah, for love. Another little trick, we're all going to get roses, ladies and gentlemen. We're all going to get roses from our loved ones, right? This is a little mischievous.
Okay.
Grab a few petals from those roses, allow them to completely dry, however long it takes. Just leave them out somewhere. Once they're completely dry and brittle, try to break them down with your hand as much as you possibly can. Crazy part, you need to get yourself a new nail file and file your nails. So it's only your nail, no acrylics. So maybe your toenails if necessary, ladies.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of your nail powder, put it on, mix it in with the little niblets of the petals that the person that you love give them to you. When that person is around you, you have to burn a pinch of that mixture in an open flame, and that's to keep the passion alive.
What? Seriously?
Listen, do not. I'm laughing because do not think for a second when they're starting up the barbecue pit and that man is looking where you're not throwing that in real quick. Keep the passion alive.
Really? That could work.
Yes.
That could work too. Oh my god, I love this.
Yes.
Okay.
But it has to be roses that the person gifted you,
Mhm.
and it has to be your raw nail, no gel or any kind of stuff, and just burn it in there. That's it. It's amazing. It's really good. It's simple things, just keeping at it. Good for
So
love.
what other topics do you have on hand? You can look on your phone.
But subjects that I wanted to cover.
Yes.
See. So I wanted to mention to you that most of my readings, I sense people's energies and intentions and struggles. So whenever I get a reading, it's so sweet. You guys are so sweet to me, but I hear all the time. And I love the affirmation. I'll take it as a human, but I hear like, how did you know? Or, how did you pick that up on me? Or, all that kind of stuff.
I do that a lot with you.
It's
I do that a lot with you.
I'm
yeah.
just sensing your energy. And people look at me like I'm talking in a different language. And I just explain to them that, when you go into a space and you have been welcomed and it smells wonderful, it's clean, and the persons have been very polite with you, but you just do not feel comfortable there. There's something about the space that you're not cool
I've been
with.
there before, yeah.
Or you can meet someone in the grocery line and you just feel like I've known this person for eons. I'm drawn to this person. That's your intuition. That's your energy. That's what you're sensing.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, because
Yes.
no, that happened the other day.
Yes,
so.
that's exactly your energy. Sometimes your spirit, the more spiritual, from my experience, the more spiritual you become, the more messages that you'll get.
I love this. So what do you recommend also for, I don't know, we're about 8 minutes in. 8 minutes to go. We have 8 minutes left. What do you recommend for the month of February for love? We've already talked about everything else. You told us you gave us a love bath and everything.
That we can do, no
Yes.
excuses.
No excuses.
Right.
But what else do you recommend?
Opening up to love, setting yourself up for love, going out. Do you know how many times I'm Mama Bear and my intention is good, but I want you to be successful. And let me go back to this. I'm not Mother Teresa. I'm not, reincarnated of a saint. It is in my best interest that I serve a purpose for you. If you do well, I do well.
Yes.
If I help you resolve your issue, next time life comes at you, who is your go-to?
You.
It's kind of a little double-edged sword.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I strongly believe in karma. What you put out there is what you receive. If your intention is good, now that's not to say that there aren't bad people and there aren't people that will take advantage of you. That exist. So we absolutely need to use our logic. We need to be smart. And I have to say this. Please, whoever's listening to this, please do not fall for the false promises. Do not fall for, I guarantee you, for X amount, this is going to happen. If you
I'm
don't
take you here, I'll buy you this or buy you that.
or
No.
yes, none of that. If you feel pressured by any sort of person, that means that you need to step back. Listen to your logic and your intuition. A person that knows what they're doing, this is from my perspective, a reader. I've had readings done by other readers, by the way.
Really?
I'm human. I love talking shop to other readers. If you want to make me happy, bring in another reader and we chit chat about this. I love it. It's amazing. It's like too
But
crazy.
can you tell which one's a con?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell it. But my point is, please be careful because there's so much out there with social media. I know I gotta sound like an old lady, but these young people are like, I'm on TikTok. I saw this on so-and-so. I saw this on YouTube. Follow through. Who are you praying to? Who are you invoking? Don't fall for it. Okay, I'm done.
No, I know. No, because
It just makes me mad.
No, well, we both had weight loss surgery.
Mhm.
And I can't stand those people that show up on social media and they're like, I work out and I'm real tight and I'm real thin. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I know you're lying. I'm like, because if you went from 500 pounds to 110 and you didn't have no surgery at all, you did
Right.
everything through protein, weight, and exercise and diet,
Yeah.
you're fucking full of shit.
By the way,
Yeah.
you look amazing.
What?
Yes,
No.
you look amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
When you tell me I was working out, I'm like, you go with your amazing
Yeah,
starting.
but even working out, I'll get like saggy skin. That's why I get mad
So
with
what?
with the social people. Everyone that they're like, oh, I'm working out, I'm doing this, but then their skin's all tight. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're fucking lying. Because I'm working out, I'm doing all the protein intake, I'm doing everything. I'm doing the reps, I'm running, I'm doing everything. I'm doing the weights and everything. I'm like, I have so much saggy skin. I'm like, so you can't tell me you went from 500 to 110 and you look perfect. It's all fucking social media.
I have a message for love when you opened up this conversation.
What?
For all the single people going out there to try
Oh.
to meet someone, be cautious who you're with. Who are your buddies? Who are you hanging out with? You just touched something that I have overlooked. People's intentions transfer over.
Yes. And I think, and I didn't mean to point. I'm sorry if you're
No,
if you're
you're
gonna
good.
finish. No, that's yeah. We got 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this in a minute. No, and that's okay. This is how I really run the podcast.
Okay.
Um,
Is that true?
No,
Is it
yeah, no, yeah, it really is. It really is. Yeah, I'm like, why? You told me yourself. You're like, I gotta be just like everyone else. I
Yes.
can't be like all fake.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a group of friends that I think they want to. I think they're tarnishing other people from dating.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said,
Misery likes company.
yes, negativity adds to negativity.
Right.
Negativity wants negativity, and I'm like, sometimes you gotta let go of people to start dating,
And
or if you want that person that you love, you gotta let them go. And I'll say this for my own personal experience
Okay.
in the gay world.
okay.
I had, I would,
And y'all love me, by the way. And I
Yeah.
love y'all back.
no, we do. We love you. We love you so much. We do. But no, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I'll ask you off camera about this one. And I know you know who I'm about to talk about. But when I ran around with a lot of gay friends,
Uh-huh.
it was a group of us and the gays. And there was this one guy who everybody was in love with. I didn't find him that attractive.
Uh-huh.
I was no, he was attractive. He was
Okay.
just not my type. You know what I'm saying? You just
Yeah.
feel like when you get that energy where like they're just more like a friend.
Right.
And I was like, okay, this guy, and I'll change his name. His name is Mark. I call him Mark.
Okay.
Mark. And then years later, I got rid of the friend group and everything, and I ran into him in 2006.
Mhm.
This was I knew him in 2000.
Okay.
So I ran into him in 2006, and he
Uh-huh.
was like, hey, I always try to get your number, but
And you had no clue.
no clue. And he goes, but your
Friend
other
in the
friend,
Yep.
your other friend said that you weren't good with that and that I thought it was gross. And I was like, I never said you were gross. I just said you weren't my type. But then they winded up dating. So that's my recommendation
The
too.
devil never sleeps. Be
Yeah.
careful who you surround yourself with.
Because they will snatch that love. And I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna say it. Please forgive me for those. They will snatch that dick or coochie before you even think about getting it. They would have already snatched it up, and they will sabotage you for
Isn't that
that.
terrible?
They will sabotage
Isn't that
you.
terrible?
It's horrible.
But
I can't
listen,
stand
when
it.
people, and I'm going to be a little bit annoying, the more, like I mentioned, I've been doing this for a long time. I was born into this. It evolves, it changes. Someone who does what I do will understand that it evolves. It's never the same. It's not a specific way. But the more spiritual that you get, now after this 30 years, I'm 48. Thank you, God. I'm 48. Hopefully 49 soon.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I'm becoming so optimistic. I'm annoying myself.
Really.
The more spiritual that you get, the more blind faith that you have, the more you let go, the more optimistic you get. And my Aquarius brain doesn't love it.
Well, no, it doesn't. But then we like to be optimistic too.
You
We like
think
to believe,
so?
we like to believe in the good in people.
Okay.
We like to believe that the world's a better
Yeah,
place.
I just
Mhm.
feel like there's always a silver lining. You know, the pandemic we went through, even loneliness. Hey, loneliness, and someone may tell me easier said than done. Being lonely is not fun. Being rejected is not a cool feeling. You know where you stand. You know people's intentions. You know what
Yes.
you don't want.
You know, and the saddest thing is I know where I stand with a couple of people, and I'm just like cutting them loose, and I'm not hurt, and I'm just very positive about it. Thank you so much for coming on.
You're
You're gonna be back
You're
soon.
welcome.
You will be back. I think I'm gonna book
March
you for
is
2
for
more
money.
episodes. March.
March
You're
is for
coming in
money.
March. You're coming in March.
Money,
we all need that
blessings.
right now.
April for me is health and growth and spiritual protection is ideal. May, Mother's Day is for home. Everything you can think of for your home.
Okay, so I'm going to read where we can find your social medias.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. For your Instagram, it's at Lecturas and Readings by Julie.
Right?
And we're gonna go ahead and share this on the platforms, and we can put that in the caption.
Excellent.
TikTok is Lecturas Readings by Julie. Facebook is Lecturas and Readings by Julie. Yes.
Repetition.
Oh, there's also a booking link, and it's in description below. We're gonna put that in the YouTube video. The store phone number. I'm gonna repeat this twice.
Oh, Lord,
281.
people, I'm not great at picking up my phone. Text
Leave
me.
a message. They'll call her back.
Text me.
Oh, text you.
Yes.
Okay, 281-442-1200. 281-442-1200. We're gonna add the descriptions. Do you know the address by hand?
Text me, please. 713-702-3767.
Oh.
Because I checked them between my...
Say it again.
713-702-3767.
Okay.
And I check them between my appointments. I'm a little teeny tiny shop. It's just me. I'm 48. I need my reader sometimes. Be patient with
fine.
me. My son set up a booking link, which makes things a lot easier. But message me. Message me if you have a doubt. Message me if you're not sure if you want a reading. Message me if you have a quick question. Message me if you're a reader. I love, hey, I'm willing to exchange
Really? Because I want to do that.
services.
No, I want to bring two readers
Oh
in and
my
see what goes
God.
on.
Yes, yes. And
Okay, so I always ask this question. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I always ask this question. Where is your favorite place to go eat? I always tell people at the end, I'm always ending it with favorite place to go eat.
favorite place to go eat. I love Asian food. Love, love, love. Any kind of soup, wonton soup. I love Kim Sun.
I went to Kim Song last night. Going
Did you
downtown.
really?
It's really good, but they're closing it.
Yeah, they've been claiming that for years. I love.
Really?
Yeah, I love.
Well, they're closing because of the expansion.
They,
now.
I have heard this story for years. But okay.
Okay. Okay, got
Listen,
it.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But I love to eat.
You
I
do.
love Mexican food. I love
Oh.
jardín on Harrisburg.
You know, my family owns that.
No way.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off camera.
How amazing.
Yeah.
I love their enchilada. I ordered.
Really?
Listen, I'm the annoying person that reads the whole menu. My husband will attest. Read the whole menu and always orders the same thing.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna talk about that off camera. Well, thank you so much.
You're
You'll be
welcome.
back.
You're
All
welcome.
right. And we're done with time.
Perfect.